what's up and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the film Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Now this is a sequel to 2018's Black Panther and again is directed by Ryan Coogler. Now this particular film doesn't feature Chadwick Boseman in the role of T'Challa, the Black Panther himself, because you know sadly he had passed away. So they have like a new Black Panther in the film, and we all kind of suspected who it was. You know, it is kind of obvious at one point who it is going to be. Now the film is actually taking place after the idea that T'Challa has died. Well, King T'Challa, like the Black Panther himself, he has died. I like how they wrote that into the film. It's like realistic that way, being that Chadwick Boseman had died, that they actually kept that true to the actual Panther itself, like in the film. So he's actually supposedly dead himself too in the film. So I think that's kind of cool that they did that, and then just like come up with some kind of new idea for why he's not there or anything like that. So they just basically bring in like a new person to be the Black Panther. So I do think that's pretty cool how they did that. Now the film itself is dealing with the idea that the Wakanda nation has to continue to fight and face threats from like people trying to take their vibranium, or who want access to their vibranium, because there are like a lot of scenes in the film where you can tell there's like different like people and different like I think like military like type factions and so on who are trying to get like this vibranium from Wakanda, you know. And it turns out at one point it's a sported territory too, that the vibranium does exist like in other locales. So that's one of the things that was kind of interesting about the film. It wasn't just only available in Wakanda. Now this film stars Letitia Wright, and you also have cause she's back in the film as Shuri Shuri. Then you also have the Peter Nyong'o, who's back as Nakia. Then Angela Bassett is still in the film too as well as Ramonda. Then you also have Martin Freeman, who returns as Ross, Everett K. Ross. There's like a lot of like actors and actresses in the film that return from the previous film. Then you also have like a new antagonist or a new villain of the film known as Namor, and he's played by Tanaka Rota. I think that's how you pronounce it. And he's like the king of the Talakan, and this is like an ancient civilization that is like underwater. And this is like one of the things I thought was kind of off about the film, and it was kind of okay because it's basically like introducing like a new like character, you know, that has like there, and like he's from like a race of people that have their own civilization and all that. And it turns out he's like a mutant too as well. I thought that was kind of cool that he's like a mutant. So you know, you got kind of like X-Men type references right there, being that he's like a mutant himself because he has like these feathers that are like on his feet. He can fly and all that kind of stuff. I think he's like super strong too as well. Plus he can breathe under the water and all that. But yeah, that was one of the things that kind of messed up the plot at one point when they went into his world. You could see all like this underworld civilization that was like hidden and so on. So I thought even myself that was kind of odd. I'm hearing other people talking about it too as well. You also have Danae Guruya. I think that's how you pronounce it, as Okia. And she's like, of course, you know, like the general of Wakanda's all-female special forces. So she's like back in the film. You also have Winston Duke as M'Baku. He's like the leader of Wakanda's mountain tribe, the Jabari. Yeah, you have this new chick known as I think Riri Williams, and she's played by Dominique Thorne, and she's like a student and genius inventor who was actually able to create this suit that's kind of very similar to like the one that Tony Stark from Iron Man built him to say where it rivals that. It even looks like it because it flies and all that kind of stuff. It has like the beams that shoot out the hands and stuff. It's pretty cool looking suit. But it turns out she actually created this technology that was actually able to detect vibranium too, like underwater and all that kind of stuff. So that's why she's kind of like a big part of the film too as well. Now, the film overall, they did have some surprise like characters show up in the film too. I thought was kind of cool. I'm not going to spoil it. And I even kind of saw those coming too. Like from the previous film, you know, you thought that they weren't going to be there, but they showed up. So I thought that was kind of cool how they did that. But the film itself is basically about them taking on like Namor and so on and all that kind of stuff. And they had to defend Wakanda and so on. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I do feel like the first Black Panther film from 2018, I feel like that was a much better film. And it does seem like something's kind of off about it, being that Chadwick is no longer in it. It feels like you would really want him to be in the film. But it turned out that like a new Black Panther does show up in the end, you know. So yeah, I just leave it at that. But the Black Panther themselves, they're on screen for like only a limited time. This is kind of spoiler territory. They don't really show up to like kind of like the end of the film when they actually take on the mantle of the new Black Panther. You don't really get to see them show up until the end, and they have like their little fight sequence and all that. Then it ends and so on. Plus, this film does have like a couple of end credits too. That still think the look of the film is pretty cool, especially like in Wakanda and so on. Like then they have all this like high technology. Even some of the other underwater sequences are pretty good too as well. There's also like a lot of there are some cool like battles in the film too as well, but I do believe at times it does kind of drag. Like when it's starting, I feel like it was kind of dragging. Even when it got kind of late in the film, it was dragging. But I thought it still kept like a good pace to it, where I did still like enjoy the film and I thought it was entertaining, you know. But in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, I kind of want to give it a C, but I still feel like it was like much better than I kind of did enjoy it. So I'm gonna give it a B minus. Now, I would definitely recommend for fans of like the first Black Panther film, even though Chadwick is no longer in the film. I would definitely recommend it for fans, you know, of this new Black Panther film. But like I said, like this is spoiler territory. It is like they only show up kind of towards the end of the film. You don't really get to see like this new Black Panther show up. And yeah, it is like some end credits too. Like at the end, like the Marvel films, you have to watch the credits and you see like some stuff or whatever. I guess like hints at what they might be doing with other films and so on. But anyway, I'm giving this a B minus. Please leave a comment and subscribe too as well.